the weekend. Welcome to the second part of the relationship to your power meditation. I didn't know that is going to be a second part, but I got the instructions, and it is better, you know very well that if you get instructions, you follow them. And I like to review a little bit the first part in case you were not here, you didn't see it, or if you forgot, what was it about? It is actually about transforming all the lead, all the heavy, dark energies, all the traumas in our fields into gold. And this is an alchemical process. And it is during this alchemical process that we do get our power back. Our power that is left somewhere in the past, left by genetical imprints, or they were left behind in past lives. And anytime when we do this, we don't play, so to speak, with a full deck. And it is stepping into this full power, which is our spiritual journey at the present time. It is very exciting. It is full moon, and I'm so high, I can hardly sit. I hope you are too. Okay. So at the first step, I would like to invite you to sit in the middle or float into there, in the middle of your flower of life, and feel your space. This is your soul's space in this dimension, this life. And sit there like a queen or a king and own it. And check how stable your posture is, and connect to the conscious breath. And inhale all the way down into your belly. And when you exhale, arrive home into your pelvis. Come home into your beautiful body. Feel your spine, feel your back, feel your masculine. Let him support you. And feel your front, feel your softness. And let her soften you. Sit into the right side and sit into the left side. Please take your breath and bring it all the way down to the soles of your feet. And when you exhale, come home into your strong, beautiful feet. Take your steps back. Take back the power of going forward, the power of change. Connect to your home, your earth, your physical body. And now expand this awareness all the way around you. Feel your channel, feel your flower of life, and sit there, because this is your authentic place. Own it. And if you see any distortion in the field, if you feel any distortion in the boundaries, just be aware and bring it into your heart with acceptance. All is well. You can heal all of it. And just set the intention, I am going to take my power back. And check, please, if your center is inside or outside the flower of life. And with intention and breath, bring yourself home, center yourself. And send a vision of a perfect flower of life activated with your memory. This is my home. This is my energy system. I'm going to own it. I'm going to take full responsibility for this. What comes in, what goes out. Who comes in and who goes out. This is your domain. No one else's. No one else can sit in your place. This is someone else's work, imprint, lesson, teaching, not yours. The same way when you enter into a dark room and you can sense the furniture around you, you can close your eyes and sense someone else's furniture, stuff, emotions in your field. Just sense them as if they were objects, energies. And you feel, this is not me. And allow yourself the power of self-healing and say, I don't want to go into the drama. Today is a very, very strong day. Everything is here to support me. I'm going to release whatever does not belong into my field. If it was my teaching, I take the lessons. I want to grow from it and clear your field. Please do check, do feel, where else do you use your power? Losing power is like being anemic. It is the same loss of life force as if we were cutting ourselves and dripping blood. So feel that. How come that I don't have enough energy throughout the day? Am I losing it? Am I leaving it behind? Is it connected to some story in the past? Is it connected to a person? Bring it up to the light, please. So when we are going on this self-empowerment, the first thing is to be very, very honest. And very honestly and with compassion, looking at our way of giving up our power. There is always, always, always a tender spot, a weak point behind it, and it is a teaching. It is always good. It is always about potential expansion. And then we very honestly ask a question from ourselves. Where do I lose power? This question with the creation sound is going to open up your whole system, because your system knows, your guides know, your soul knows that you are ready to up the game. And everything activates to support you in that change. There is a help in understanding the loss of power. There is a help in understanding the fear of being empowered. And we go into total acceptance. This is the feminine part. Total acceptance. This is what I have. This is what I have to work with. It's very solid. Being honest with ourselves. And when you have a clear vision, it is your decision about what it is that you want to do about it. I had a friend once that I lent money to, and I never got it back. And because she was a close friend, it wasn't the money, it was a betrayal that stayed with me, and I was losing energy into that story. And because it was very close to me, a close betrayal, it took me time to clear it. But I made a decision. I will allow myself to be in anger and in grief for one more month. And after that, I totally want to release that. So every day I ask for help releasing this grief from my system every day. So there was a grief period, and also at the same time, a decision to letting this go after a while. So when we find our weak spots, weaknesses, addictions, hurts, anger, it is the choice. What kind of choice do I want to make? What do I want to do about it? Do I want to stay with this? Do I want to stay for a short, long period, for the rest of my life, for 5 lives? It is a clear decision. So make one. And please do try. We all have grievances, usually because life is such that every day something happens that challenges our being in center. Today I was yelled at on the train because my mask was not perfect according. So right there and then I decided by the time I leave the train, I do not want to carry this person anymore, and I'm going to have compassion for him. Obviously that he had very troubled previous life as well. Okay, so that was a decision. I was very clear how pissed I was, and I decided I give myself 5 minutes for that. I wasn't fast enough for in an instant. I was fast enough for 5 minutes. So please take a look at something in your life that is active, and it doesn't have to be a huge thing, just a minor irritation like on this train. Name it. Bring it into your heart. This is what it is, and I will grow from it. And I'm going to let go of it in such, and you say the time, and you can exhale it. If this thing dug its heels into your core, into your very core, then you ask for help. This is when your helpers want to be called. This is what they are sent for. I have a challenge letting this story from my system. I ask help. It is too heavy, too big. Please help me let go. You are going to be helped because there is so much unbelievable help. Do ask for it, please. When we pray, when we say a mantra, when we say sacred words, when we ask for help, what we do, we start dialoguing with the universe. It is immensely powerful. It was almost shocking how easy it is to say destructive words to ourselves, and how hard it is to say something positive, something empowering, something that connects us to the divine. Feel into it. It is so out of balance that I have a feeling that it was not by a chance. I have a feeling that using empowered, beautiful, sacred language is something that we have to again activate and take back into our spiritual fabric. It is so very powerful. Okay, so every morning, every evening, you can chart your energy field. It's almost like taking your blood pressure or brushing your teeth. This should be our daily routine. Why? Because we became a different generation than the one behind us. We are very different from our parents. Please let's state it. Their purpose in life was very different. They were very strong. They survived. They survived such a horrible time that we would probably not. And since the 50s, there is a non-stop activation, global activation, and everybody is waking up into their hologramic nature and using this hologramic nature is necessary because, as I mentioned before, we are in between worlds. We are going from Pisces into a very different world, Aquarius. And Aquarius is a visionary word. It is an everyday mystical word. It is letting go of the hierarchy. And in order to be in an equal terms with everybody, we all have to step into our holographic nature and power. This is a beautiful journey, and we are blessed to be alive. I don't remember, I don't see, I don't know. When was the last time that humanity globally went through in such initiation and change? Okay. So today I would like to take this a little bit further from the last time, and I would like to introduce the use of archetypes. I've been working with archetypes since I met with Caroline Myss, and she was the one who introduced me to their beautiful system. Just like your energy field, the same way, the energy field of the archetypes, like your flower of life, and it could be divided into 12 segments, and we all work with at least 12 archetypes. Some are common for all of us. Some are particularly only for us. And there are archetypes, if I like to explain it very easily, they are like patterns of power. If I say that she is a good mother, everyone on earth knows what a mother is, or that she is a diva, then again it is understood. So at one side of it, archetypes are very objective. It is a global system, but archetypes we experience also very personally. You are a mother and you are a mother and I am a mother, and we all had different experiences as mothers. The same way for a healer, there are many different healers, but there is a healer archetype and we know what it is. Today, I would like to open a couple of archetypes. If you are interested to work with them, because you can right away can ask for them and see if they are active in your system. One of the archetypes that we all do have is the inner child. And I would start with the inner child because an inner child might sit in our system, in our flower of life, stagnating our progress and freezing time at a certain age. So let's say a child got into a hospital at age 2 or 3. Part of our inner child stayed at this trauma and didn't grow. Okay? Almost jumped out of the body, froze the emotional body, part of it, and stayed there. And most likely there is mistrust in that inner child because of the trauma. She or he didn't feel protected. So I would invite you to sit again in your flower of life. Take just 5 minutes each day and call on your inner child. And she or he will show up, different age, and whatever age the child comes, this is where you have to do the work. And let's open just the field. And since the child might be distanced or closed, it is your job to open the system with the understanding that your parents could not give to this child the stuff they didn't have. Okay? And they won't be able to. It is you who can heal your inner child. And I would start with the basic understanding and the basic understanding that all children want to be loved unconditionally. So I would say it with the power of your words. All children want to feel safe, because most likely the trauma happened when the child was not safe or protected. The child has to feel your protective powers, that you take care of this child, and you are going to be the witness of the child's need, and that every day you are going to meet with this child and spend time. And as you do 5 minutes each day, the child learns to trust, you learn to heal, and both of you start to grow together into an adult. Children are excellent because they have imagination without any lids, And this might be lacking in your system. Maybe that's the reason that your income goes only this far, because the child with limitless income and limitless money and manifestation is traumatized, and his or her creativity is missing. So the two of you can grow together, bringing in this divine child quality into your life, into your system, into your work, into your healing. It's limitless. I remember one of my children making a Christmas list, which was about a meter long. The first thing he asked for was a blue whale. Do you understand? Limitless. A blue whale. That was the first item. I was afraid to read, but I put it away and framed it because I want to remember, if I forget, what it is to live inside the head of the child that knows no lids. So this is the inner child archetype. Close connection, self-love, self-healing. And since we are talking about children, I again would like to bring up another archetype, which is, I think, not just a personal one, but a global one. As we transition from Pisces into Aquarius, this passage asks from us to step into this newly activated power like an adult. Because 50, 60, 70 years is a very, very short time in humanity's history. And during this time that we got all these downloads and activations, we were like children playing with beautiful stuff, almost like wow, magic. And then we went into puberty with it. And puberty is still not adulthood. When we are in puberty, we can still complain about our parents, our teachers, our pocket money. Okay. And the past year and a half was perfectly perfect to see into this, that the adults, the parent figures, the teacher figures, the gurus whose heads just rolled the past couple of years, are not what we thought, and the whole change asks us to step into spiritual adulthood. Okay, so let's feel into this puberty, this teenager in us, when we go through something hard and heavy and heartbreaking on our spiritual journey, as we all do. And we would like to have someone else do it for us. And this is what I would like to share about this. Having a spiritual experience is very much like having a child. You can read about a spiritual experience just like you can read about having a child. It is a completely different experience when you give birth to a child and it is there. Something touches you to the very core and ignites a fire in your heart that you didn't even know you had. And the same way with a spiritual experience. Something ignites in your heart, something you didn't even know you had. And there is no turning back, and you do not want to turn back, but going forward. And it is about being a very good parent to this child and a very good parent to your soul. And only this experience, this visceral experience, that can give you faith and trust and say yes, which I think is the most feminine word in the universe. And this is what is asked from us: having faith, saying yes. And this is what's going to help us grow from puberty into spiritual adulthood, I feel. Thank you, loves. I think that will be all for tonight. I hope you can go outside and talk to the moon, connect, and ask this moon to ignite your heart so you will be fearless. This is the life you have. And ask to be open and give the most you can in this lifetime, to love the most, to heal the most, to live the most. Thank you. Good night.